Send it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast. Dallas, as always, joined by Levi. Levi, man, how's it going?
Sweet 16, baby. Feels
Absolutely,
good.
it's sure is sweet. I mean, it was just
It, the Sunday was built and it was an incredible Sunday. And now anything else is whipped cream and cherry and all the chocolate toppings, man. Real successful season in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I think it was just a huge win for Rick Barnes, and I mean, it's the program's fourth straight Sweet 16. Tennessee's the only other program in the SEC to do that in the 2020s, other than Alabama. So I think the Barnes in March narrative, it's officially dead. You can bury it, put it put to bed. A few players, though, I want to shout out from the game personally. I thought Bishop Boswell, huge. I mean, that first half, I think he had three threes, and then he hit his fourth in the second, kind of rattled in, popped out, rattled back in. I thought Bishop was great. Jacoby Gillespie, maybe his best game of the season as far as finishing that on the floater shots. I mean, he was very efficient, and all year it seems like he had been struggling to make those, and it comes up in the biggest time of the year, maybe. Um, Felix Okpara, just a force around the rim on both sides. I mean, that lob threat, him and Gillespie on really came along as far as the connection between those two. And kind of start of the year, you could tell it was kind of rough, and they didn't really know where each other were at times. And it's kind of they kind of connected. And then Nate, still not 100%, had a few mental errors there towards the end of the game, but I thought he still hit some big shots and made some big plays. I don't know about you, Levi, but on that block, I about knocked things over. I shook the room yelling. It was a very impressive block. I kind of saw it coming. I knew he was going to block the shot when I saw him slide over, but I did not know he was going to send that son of a bitch to the 10th row. It was kind of a surprise. And Jalen Carey, getting big points. Only two rebounds, one offensive, one on defensive. But I thought the points he scored were huge as far as the timing of them. And he's been a kind of a villain in a way for opposing teams and our fan base as well. The people that just simply look at the analytics and look at the stats and say, he gets all these offensive rebounds, but he doesn't convert. And I've had this discussion on this podcast multiple times that he may not convert every one. I mean, he's not going to, but he does a lot of letting his presence be felt, and that wears down the other team throughout the game. I think that analytics being as big a part of basketball as it has become is a mistake. But other than that, that's all I got to say about the Virginia game. Levi, what do you got to add, if anything?
The one thing you brought up, the lob to Felix, really has been working the last little bit of the season and everything, and it actually has been getting us 3-point shots. I'm sure you've seen the my quote tweet where I said, "Can't be Rick runs a 1970s offense." Well, in that the first time we get the lob to Felix, the second time Bishop reads the fact that his guy is way too worried that they're going to lob the ball to Felix. He just takes off to the corner, gets a wide open look because of that lob threat to Felix teams. There's very like a coach hates when you give up a 3-point opportunity and a wide open one. Like it's gonna irritate them. But there's nothing, in my opinion, in my past playing basketball that made my coaches more mad than if I gave up something just point blank at the rim. So teams kind of overthink that, and uh, you got to give credit to Felix for he may not be averaging 15 points a game, but he's putting an impact on the game just being there. And sometimes a presence is nice. And as you stated, Jalen Carey, that may have been his best game offensively when he caught the one with their big guy. I can't remember his name. He's got a
Oh,
kind of a foreign
Nienso
name. Yeah, the
played at
leading
Kentucky
shot
last
blocker in
season.
the
Yeah.
yeah, he's the leading shot blocker in the ACC, I believe, or top two or something. But when he took that, he got that one and turned, put it in his chest, and got an and one. I was like, I ain't never seen this man act like this before. But you know, and the normal conversations around the basketball world is well, Jacoby Gillespie shooting about 20% above his season average. From the floor, from three, blah blah blah. Like it's gotta go back to the means. Like, yeah, it's possible that it does. go back to, the normal average, or it's possible he's just having a Kimba March, and I'm allowed to say that. I've seen him compared to Kimba in his first two games. I'm allowed to say that. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I am saying that what if he does just have a Kimba run and he comes out against Iowa State, has another 29 points, and goes 7 for 11 from three? You know, it happens all the time. There's guys that get super hot in March, and I'd love for it to be Jacoby Gillespie this year if that's how it goes. But I also have a good feeling, Dallas, about the way we won that Virginia game. I would, if we'd have won it going away, I think our guys would have been a little too cocky. I think that the way that the game ended, you gave up the lead. You got a little slippery there on defense at times, especially Felix. He was getting sucked into the paint way, way too much. Um, and Iowa State, their bigs are not scary. They don't have rim protection, not to leave the Virginia game, but overall, I like the way that we had to gut that one out, and we'd lost that game, what, 5 times this year?
Yeah,
It
and
felt like so. We got it done when it mattered the most.
we've lost that game multiple times in the past in March, even under
Absolutely.
Rick Barnes as well. And I mean, before I move on to Iowa State, I just want to ask what your opinions are on Rick Barnes's late game choices there towards the end of the Virginia game. I thought he made some timely timeouts, and I thought he was very pre- precise with when he was going to call a timeout and some of the sets we ran. Do you think? I mean, people mentioned before that there's always been the stigma that he'll hang on to timeouts, and I mean it
He
was
he
a
called them,
yeah, there was a minute 35 left in the game. I think it might have been even 2 minutes, and he called the final timeout. And I was like, man, whew. But
and
it,
the,
it
the
worked out.
crazy thing about that is he subs Nate out,
Yeah,
right? And that's right before. So Nate, it was when the travel that for some reason Virginia fans seem to think is a travel. If a guy starts to jump stop and there's nowhere to land, and your defender's forearm is in his gut, turning him in the air, I don't care how skinny the guy is, he still weighs over 200 pounds. In order to turn somebody in the air like that, you got to be putting some force on him. Uh, Turns him, and they're calling it a phantom travel or call, blah, blah. Absolutely a foul call. Anyway, he hits both those free throws. You see, I listened to Rick, and Rick said that Gainey said, "Hey, we're gonna take Nate out," and Rick was like, "That's a bad idea because that means I'm gonna have to call a timeout on the other end to sub him back in." And Gainey and him talked about it, and apparently that was what they wanted to do. So they subbed Nate out. They got the stop. They took their timeout to get Nate back in the game. That one's a little questionable to me. I'm like, you could have just left him in, but I see why they did it. Evans is moving a little better right now defensively. But overall, I mean, I was extremely pleased with the way. I mean, every time that I would look up, man, we need a timeout. Rick took one. There were a couple times the announcers were like, "Oh, they need a timeout real bad right now." I'm like, they do not know Rick Barnes. Like he gave up 4 points, man. Like he's not going to freak out over four. Now 6 to 8 in the tournament, he might freak out over, call a timeout, get his guys settled back down. But I also loved how during that they had I can't, is it Ali LaForce that we get?
yeah, yeah.
No, no, it
I
was
think it was
what's his
that.
name? No, it was we got the guy this time, the guy that they were putting all the towels on his head, Evan Washburn.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Evan
Yeah,
Washburn.
he said that when he was listening on the huddle at the end of the game there, that Rick was basically telling everybody, like, because they had just made their run, they're right back in it. But Rick was telling everybody, like, look, man, it does not matter. They're going to hit shots. It's going to happen. But like, we just need to keep defending. Just keep defending, and our offense will come to us. And they're this team, especially when they string together stops, I would say their offensive efficiency climbs about 20%. So, it's like I tell everybody I watch the games with. Rick Barnes teams, they run a very modern NBA style offense. There's just not a whole lot of space on the college floor. But when his teams can string together stops, it seems to be that the shots fall a lot more. That's how I feel personally.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I mean, moving on to Iowa State, I want to say it comes down to Jefferson, but I think it may be a little bit deeper than that, honestly. I mean, you had Momchilovich, he's shooting 49% from three this season. You're going to have to find him, and you're going to have to find him early, especially out in transition. I think, regardless of Jefferson, that there's guys out on that court that can still hurt you, even if he's 35, 50% healthy, even if he doesn't play. Then there's Taman Lipsey, who he's shooting 31% on the year, but he did just, oh man, he did just make 3 of 6 against Kentucky, which I mean it's Kentucky.
He was hooping out there.
We know their 3 point defense isn't necessarily elite, but still you have to have
Yeah,
a guy
cat's
out. I
being
mean,
crazy. Be right back. Just keep talking.
okay. And then a cool stat I got from John Reed of Fox Sports Knoxville. I'm sure it came from somewhere else and he aggregated it, but that's who I saw it from, so I'm giving him the credit. All 7 of Iowa State's losses have come on nights when its defense gives up a 31% or higher offensive rebound rate. So if Tennessee can take care of the offensive glass, get their second looks, I really like our chances for the third straight Elite Eight. This could be famous last words, but I think the guards handled Virginia's pressure nicely. I don't think they looked
And
too tore up
until
at
there was
times.
about 4 minutes left.
Yeah, until about 4 minutes, then we kind of fell apart. But hopefully that experience there pays over to the Iowa State game. I'm not too terrified of turning the ball over. If you do, make sure it's a dead ball, not a live ball turnover. That was when Iowa State made their run against Kentucky, is when they started getting them live ball turnouts, turnovers, and started getting easy buckets and wide open transition threes. So rebound the ball offensively and defensively. If you're going to turn the ball over, turn it over in the dead ball situation and defend the 3 point line. Do those three things, and I really like Tennessee's chances there. So Levi, what are you else you have to say about Iowa State?
It's going to be tough with or without Jefferson. We saw how good they can be without him. I mean, even against Tennessee State, they looked fine. And he got hurt, what, 3 minutes into the game?
Yeah, yeah,
So they still scored over 100 points. But if we can get them to have two halves like they had against in the first half against Kentucky, which I like our defense a lot better than Kentucky's. I think anybody in the country would take our defense over Kentucky's. Um, but Kentucky fell apart pretty bad in that game. They went back to some of their old habits. I saw players arguing with each other in huddles again, and they fouled just at a terrible rate in the second half. I think Iowa State had or Kentucky had 6 foul calls against them in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Tennessee needs to avoid that. And as you stated, the Momcilovic guy, you cannot let. I mean, if you thought Suter from uh, Miami, Ohio, is a
yeah,
dangerous guy to let catch the ball out there, this is double. Now, I will say, Momcilovic doesn't scare me off the dribble as much. If you can, they don't go 5 wide like Miami, Ohio does, so we'll be able to have Felix and JP and those guys under the rim. This is going to be a game where I'd really love to see Felix and JP on the floor at the same time and opposite times, so you can keep some rim protection in there. But overall, this is a really, really good Iowa State team. I mean, they're a 2 seed for a reason, and I don't see any way that Jefferson does play. I mean, his ankle injury is one of those ones where I've rolled mine like that before. It's a 3 week thing, man. I mean, if you're on a scooter a day after and you're not even, I mean, that's rough. That's a bad one. So the fact that they didn't even come out with any of the MRI, if he would have been healthier, they would have came out with something that said like his MRI came out clean. I think he tore a bunch of ligaments in that thing. So now if he wants to try to play, he can. He'll be guarding probably Nate in or somebody like that, which would be the battle of the bum ankles, I guess you could call it. But we'll take him out there if he wants to try to go through it. But I would say he'll make it about 3 possessions if he tries.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I mean, you don't want to get ahead of ourselves or nothing like that. But who do you have in
I
the
mean,
Alabama?
oh,
Go ahead.
hmm. I like Michigan to win that game only because Michigan can run with Alabama. They have the pace and they have the better bigs.
But I think we
Um,
also go ahead.
I'd rather play Alabama.
Yeah, that's good. What I was getting ready to say. Yeah, I
I do
mean,
think we match up pretty well with Michigan, other than uh, Yaxel. Uh, he'd be a tough cover for us at the 4.
yeah, and then I
But
mean, you think about Jalen Carey matched up with Ademara, and that could That might would
He did fine against the big guy from Virginia. I was
he did
pleasantly
he did
surprised with how he handled the big guy from Virginia. So,
he
but
did he did.
I'd much rather play Alabama with a healthy Nate. I think we go 2-0 against Alabama this year.
I
But
agree.
also, I know that more than likely, if we do play Alabama, one of our star players, our luck would be we finally win the Elite Eight, but they dove at Jacoby Gillespie's knee in the last 2 minutes, and something like that happened. Because every time we play them, it seems that one of their players just has to take a wild dive at the leg of one of our players.
Yeah, that's definitely. And speaking of Jacoby, I mean, I just saw earlier right before we got on here from Ryan Shumpert that Jacoby Gillespie has made 97 3-pointers this season. If he hits three more, he would be only the third player in program history to hit 100 plus threes in the season. Did you say that stat before you got on here?
I did, yeah. Chris Lofton,
Chaz Lanier.
Chaz, and I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say Jacoby's the next. So, yeah.
Yep, yep. I was kind of surprised that Dalton didn't make that list. I would have swore he hit 100, but maybe the injury there at North Carolina.
He got to the rim a lot, man.
Yeah, he did. He did. But anyway, before we move on to some other things, did you see Jacoby Gillespie's interview after the Virginia game with Evan Washburn?
Yes.
Thoughts on the
Yes.
comment, let's go get him?
Uh, I'm not sure what he means by that because him and Boswell can't get enough of each other. So I don't know what that means.
That was that. I love that. Especially Rick just coming out and knowing. I think you might want to retract that statement. That
Pause.
was, yeah, yeah. That was good. But anyway, moving on to across the country, Hubert Davis has been let go of, fired, retired, whatever you want to call it. So, in your opinion, who do you have right now getting the UNC job?
I think we're going to play him on Friday night, to be honest. I think Otzelberger will take that job. Um, Apparently, Billy Donovan has a lot of headway moving with the betters and the betting lines in that. I'm not entirely sure if I'd uh, really believe that too much. I know that he is exploring outside of being the Bulls head coach, but that could be kind of a Stevens type thing. He probably wants to try to move up into the front office somewhere, in my opinion, in the league. Um, and I don't think that that'd be a bad idea for him. But at this point, I'm going to say it's Otzelberger that ends up taking that job, which he he's going to be the first outside of the family NC guy in a while. Not sure that that'll work out well for him, but with the way that he can bring talent in there, and if he can get that talent to play defense like he can, then he'll have a really really solid team in the ACC every year, year in and year out.
Yeah, I kind of like the Otzelberger hire as well, and hopefully that kind of begins to leak out as we get closer to Friday, and his team's like, "Yo, man,
He
you want
already
to be
addressed it
here?"
today.
Did
He
he?
addressed it today.
What'd he say?
Yeah. That anything about rumors about me with any other job opportunities are false, which definitely
Absolutely.
means that his people have been contacted,
Yeah,
and he is prepared to interview for that job when their season ends. So hopefully he's interviewing for that job early Saturday morning.
yeah. I always love the. I've not talked to nobody personally. I've talked to nobody. Okay, but your agent has talked to somebody. What
Yeah, who
about
is
stuff?
his agent? Do we know?
I have no clue.
Let's see. Apparently there's some real estate agent in East Tennessee named TJ Otzelberger.
Sounds like money laundering.
He is represented by agents agencies CAA, but his actual agent is not public knowledge. So whoever
Hmm.
runs the CAA is probably his agent.
I think I'm gonna lock in Otzelberger as their next hire as well,
Yeah, I like
and
that.
then there's Kansas maybe coming open pretty soon. Who do you have there in your opinion, Landon?
I think Nate Oates and Kansas would be perfect, but I'll say it'll be Lloyd from Arizona. I
That
think
would
they'll go get, yeah,
that would be a very interesting hire. There's also the Brad Underwood. He has a lot of connections to Kansas himself, and
he does, yes.
I think that
Yeah.
would be I don't know how the Kansas fans would react. I don't know Kansas fans. I know none of
Be
them.
like us hiring Clark Lee, man.
Yeah, I've never met a Kansas fan. I don't think. Trying to, I no, I have no idea about
My
them. I
uh
don't.
my current boss, well, not really my boss, he's the current CEO of the company I work for, is a Kansas grad, and he's a huge basketball guy. He actually has really nice tickets to the Tennessee games that uh they asked him when he got the job here. Me and him have become good friends just through basketball. He played D2 level ball and over in the what are they, the Sunflower State,
Yeah.
and then he got his master's from Kansas. And anyways, I was talking to him and I was like, you may be the first true Kansas fan I've ever met. Like just an actual, like he's got the Kansas Jayhawk on the front of his car and all that, but super nice guy, really smart, and obviously he's a CEO. But yeah, just speaking of Kansas fans, it's like, oh yeah, I know one.
I mean, I've always thought maybe they just resided in Kansas and never left, but apparently not. So, how's your bracket looking at this point?
In all the bracket pools I'm in first place, other than like one that's, like the somehow ended up in like a giant one for CBS, and I am 12,038 in that one, which is not bad. There's like
No,
6.2 million people in that one. So, but at work standings, I don't know if this is going to show, but
yeah, it
we
shows.
look we look pretty. If the sunlight will stop hitting it, we look pretty good. I've got two perfect brackets, and then BYU killed me. Let's see. Um, BYU killed me, and Florida and Vandy
Yeah.
killed me. I thought I saw a Florida Vanderbilt matchup coming again. Am I mad about the fact that both of them lost? Absolutely not. Do I care about my bracket? Nope. Not when it comes to that. I mean, when Iowa hit that shot, I should yell. Uh, when Iowa hit that shot, I was almost as ecstatic as if Tennessee was the one that hit that shot against them. You know what I mean? I do have a question for you though. What do you think about the whole punch gate?
Now, just for the people that don't know what you're talking about, go ahead and explain it.
There's a tie up in the Florida Iowa game where both players got a little sassy with each other while the ball was in their hands. And when it went to the floor, the Iowa player formed a fist and made a punch. It didn't make contact. And it looked to me, I'm not saying this even with orange colored glasses either. It looked to me like he was just trying to punch the ball out.
Yeah, I mean that was my reaction. I mean you're taught to. I mean it's called punching the ball out for a reason. You don't smack at it. You're not going to get much force
Yeah.
on it. You kind of bend your knuckles. You get a much better force. I think he was going after the ball, but as you said, as a
If he
Tennessee
wanted to
fan,
punch him, he could have punched him in the face. If we're
either
being for
he
real.
either he has the worst aim and the worst punch I've ever seen, or he was going for the ball. And I'm
Yeah.
going to lean that he
He
was
still
going.
missed the ball too.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe he
He may
still
just
just
have the
has.
worst name of all time.
Yeah, possibly. Just
Yeah, that one's funny. And he's the guy that ended up hitting the game winning shot, which Florida fans, and then Florida fans after they lost and complained about all that stuff and the fact that Boogie Flan didn't know how to guard an inbounds pass, and all that. Then they're like, everybody wants to be Florida. We're so back at the fact that everybody wants to see us lose. Like, dude, you guys were one and done 2 years ago. You won it all last year. Congrats. You're lucky. Walter Clayton Merchant is what Todd Golden is.
they should
Without
have
Walter
lost to
Clayton,
UConn.
without Walter Clayton, they lose in the second round last year. And there was no coaching to that. It was Walter Clayton getting a rebound, dribbling out, turning around, and shooting the Halliburton floater from 24 feet out and it going in. Like I like Todd Golden as a coach. As a person, he's awful. But as a coach, he runs a very nice system and he gets his guys to buy into that said system. But for for people to put Todd Golden up into this upper echelon of college coaches, I don't buy it. He's let's see, 0-1, 6-0, and 1-1. 0-1 at San Francisco. Didn't even make the tournament his first year there. Then 0-1, 1-1 at Florida, or 0-1 again at Florida, and then 6-0, national champion. Congrats, Walter Clayton Merchant. And didn't have to play Duke, by the way, which they should have. Duke choked. Duke would have whipped them. And then 1-1 this year. So don't sit and tell me that Todd Golden's just this golden child, no pun. Uh, and he's just this great head coach that he's above everybody else. Like, yeah, he whipped up on a pretty average SEC this year. It happens. He also lost to Missouri and Auburn, and then Vandy by 20 in the SEC tournament. So I'm tired of hearing about him. And do I want him out of the conference? Absolutely. Like, get him out. Like, he's annoying. But he also talks mad crap to every single opposing coach he plays. And he probably talks to Rick Barnes, and Rick's probably just like, hold on, let me turn my hearing aid up for a second here. What'd you say? Oh, well, that's okay, Sonny. No, I don't want to go get. Did he say something about pancakes? I don't know. Turn my hearing aid back down here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how But apparently Ben McCollum's the biggest trash talker in all of college basketball as a head coach. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Ben. He's great. But I mean, as you said, I mean, this is
Ben
not the
McCollum
first.
had him in the torture chamber.
He did, he did. I mean, this is not the. I mean, Todd Golden, he's used to be on the outside looking in of a Sweet 16. I mean, and it's kind of sad that they lost because I mean, all these teenagers down in Florida, they now have to carry pepper spray everywhere they go, especially in Gainesville and
It's going to be in Cancun now.
Cancun. I mean, we need to start a PSA and we need to let people know about this. I mean, we need Todd Golden awareness. But anyway, thoughts on Puka Nakula allegedly being an anti-Semitite vampire?
It's possible, man. I don't know anything about that guy is crazy, dude. Like, there's just something about him that just like there's something odd about him, and I'm not sure what it is, and I can't put a finger on it. But he's just a strange dude, and that's
Have
just
you
how it's gonna
seen
be.
Have you seen the latest story about him?
Yeah, he bit a lady, and they got the bite mark picture and everything, and
Yeah,
the bite mark looks like an actual vampire bit her.
yeah, it does. It looks like he just took a big old chunk and not in the normal way that some
No,
people like it. I mean, that
yeah,
was
no. This was definitely like I needed some like hemoglobin or something. I don't know,
if they played
iron.
indoors. If they played indoors, I would 100% believe he was a vampire.
They do play indoors, technically.
So, well,
It's got that big giant glass top.
yeah. So technically, I guess they do play indoors.
It's like a tinted
So,
glass top.
so maybe I need to
I don't know.
reach out to
So
Alex Jones or someone
Dallas,
to get.
no, we're not reaching. He doesn't mean that podcast. We don't talk to Alex Jones. All right, so we're gonna
He
predict.
doesn't.
I'm gonna start this. We're gonna predict these Sweet 16 matchups. You ready?
Go for it.
All right, Arizona, Arkansas.
Arizona.
Yeah, I think that one's who. Darius Acuff, brother. I love his offense game, but defensively, he looks like me out there, or you. I don't know, one of us. All right, Texas, Purdue.
Purdue. Feel like Texas is
Final
on borrowed time.
Final Four is loading up, baby. All right, we got Iowa versus Nebraska, the Battle of Corn.
Iowa. Give me Ben.
Yeah, Ben for sure. I like that one. All right, Illinois, Houston. I think that's the best Sweet 16 matchup we're gonna get.
Give me Illinois.
I like that. I like. Really, you like Illinois over Houston? I think Houston can slow them down just enough to get that one done.
I do, but I just don't think that Houston will have the offense at the end of the day. That I think it went
Unless
head to
Flemings
head
goes for 50.
unless unless
Uh, Duke, St. John's.
it's just hard without the point guard. It's Caleb Foster. I'm
Yeah,
going Duke. I'm going Duke still, but that's kind of kind of shaky for me. I wouldn't be surprised at all if St. John's won.
Yeah, that one's become kind of a coin flip with the way St. John's has been playing too. But St. John's kind of gets lulled to sleep a little bit through games. They take like little 5 minute stretches where they think they can shoot the three.
I don't trust them to make jump shots. Is basically what's boiling down to.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then Michigan State, UConn.
Uh, UConn.
Yeah, I think UConn can slow down fears just enough. And if you watch Michigan State, it's a lot of fears and a lot of hope that their white boys hit weird, oddly weird, like step back threes for some reason. Like their
I
big
love
men or like shooting threes from like 30 out. I don't know.
I love Kohler. He's a great player to watch
Yeah.
for Michigan State.
He is fun. He is fun. He is a fun watch. Michigan, Alabama. We already picked that one. So,
Yeah, Michigan.
and then obviously we're gonna go ahead and do our prediction here. Well, who do you got? Tennessee or
Good
Iowa State?
old Rocky Top, Tennessee.
If
Give
this
me.
man goes for 20 plus ethically, not 13 free throws, well, I don't care how he gets them, but if he goes for 20 plus, like I think he's going to, I'll take Tennessee. If he has anything less than 15, it's going to be a wash. It's going to be a real bad game for us. I have a bad feeling about it.
I don't like the way we ended that, so I'm going to find something to say that has a lot more positivity. Give me just a few seconds.
Is UConn going to win the women's like by 30 every game or
Yeah, okay, I got my positivity note. Tennessee is not only going to beat Iowa State, they are going to win by 12 points. It's going to be tied 66-66 with 4 minutes to go, and Tennessee is going to go on a 12-0 run. If you
uh
look,
I know you're in Kentucky and I think meth is free in them hills, but like sometimes we're gonna have to start drug testing you. John, if you're listening, you're gonna have to start drug testing this man.
if you look, Iowa State is one of the most likely teams to go on runs. They go on big offensive runs, but they also are one of the most susceptible to long offensive scoring droughts and giving up offensive runs. Tennessee
Yeah,
doesn't give
they're
up Tennessee doesn't give up runs defensively that much. They don't give up runs offensively either. They don't go on big scoring runs. So 12-0, I think, is not actually that outlandish. Michigan, I don't want to talk about what Tennessee and Michigan would look like because it reminds me of Kennedy Chandler and how he should have came back for one more year. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. But anyway, with that being said, we will wrap up this week's episode of the Beyond the Arc podcast. Hopefully next week we are here discussing Tennessee's very first Final Four in program history. Start the prayer circles, do the rain dances, the whatever you can do to get the voodoo dolls of
what's that
Otzelberger,
baseball movie where the dude uh
Angels in the
throws some
Outfield.
st No, I don't think it's Asian Outfit where the dude's got the little voodoo doll up in the corner and he like throws some stuff into a fire and it's like and he's like, we're trying to get the bats going. I don't remember the name of the movie, but that's what we
So
need.
everyone
Voodoo,
take care.
sacrifice the goat, whatever you gotta do.
Everyone take care. If you're in Florida, keep your mace on you. If you're in Los Angeles, wear the garlic around your neck. Take off your little thing, whatever that's called. I can't remember what that's called, but
Yamka,
yarmulke. Take it off. You don't want hooker out there, allegedly. So go Vols and let's go get them.
go Vols, let's go get them, brother. Let's go.